Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 3XL podcast. My name is Ray. You can find me over on social media on Twitter and Twitch at RAY200123. With me this time, not here, unavailable, try again, aka D. He is not here for the prediction show, but this is the World's End prediction show. I will be flying solo for the day. He could not make it, but I'm pretty sure he would have loved to be here. So I'll try not to let anyone down, and including Mama D. Shout out to Mama D. Currently for Wolves, and I'm gonna, as far as be honest, with as far as you guys, we haven't been on lately, and that's apologies. That's more of an issue on my end, mainly as far as due to work, just kind of taking over my complete social life. So I really have that chance as far as watch wrestling. D's kind of been there with me as well. I haven't been watching AEW. I haven't been watching WWE either. Wrestling has kind of cooled off a little bit on my end, but it's mainly, as I said, work is kind of taking over my life. So apologies, but I am, as far as attempting to put out more content for you guys. I do have it as far as an announcement later on after the prediction show, regarding as far as what's going to happen, what's coming up, and my attempt to try to put out more content for you guys out there. But we'll start off as far as for the show. So at the moment, there is a 0 hour. I don't care for the 0 hour, but I do care about Jeff Jarrett. I believe there's a couple matches so far. We have Jeff Jarrett against QT Marshall. I'll take Jeff Jarrett on this one. I assume D would likely, as far as pick Jeff Jarrett on this one after that unbelievable promo we had with Owen Hart. My apologies. But I'll go with that as far as with Jeff Jarrett. The other one, as far as for 0 hour, is Tony Storm, who I would love to get in a discussion with D about Tony Storm and the current storyline they have going with her, but she's going against Layla Gray. I'll pick Tony Storm. There's no reason for her to lose. I believe they're going to try to push Tony Storm until she comes back or reverts back to timeless Tony Storm when they go back to Australia later on this next year for that pay-per-view. I think Down Under. I don't know what that was called, but any other as far as 0 hour as far as picks, I don't know. Tony Khan loves to throw shit to the wall at the end of the day. Probably he likes this, as far as throw matches hours before the pay per view. This is one of the things that I really, really hate about AEW and Tony Khan in general. Whatever, I guess the amount of cocaine he snorts, he usually will start throwing, get wrestlers from back there and start throwing matches. But that's as far as we'll let go. But more on the focus will be the main card, and we'll start off with main card of the night. We have as far as the semifinals between the Continental Classic. I have not been watching this, so I don't know what's been going on. I am aware as far as what's happening between the storylines, so I know as far as in the semifinals, Kazuchika Okada is going against Ricochet. Ricochet, who came out on to AEW Bound, he was a babyface originally. Now he's turning into a bit of a heel. I think the fans are kind of souring on this guy, mainly because of I've seen on Twitter, and I don't know if Dee's aware of this, but he's been cooked on social media by guys, these random Joes off of Twitter, who are uh, just absolutely just shitting on this dude. But Ricochet is now leaning towards being a heel, and this is working from what I've seen. The crowd is starting to turn on him, but he's playing to that. So kudos for him for figuring that out. But he is going against Okada. Currently, as far as the betting odds, Okada is a minus 400 favorite. Ricochet is a plus 250 dog. Um, I mean, me, I'm going to lean. I'm just going to go as far as my gut feeling. I think Okada should win. You got to push this guy. Like, he's already been in the company for what, close to a year. It's time to push this dude. The fans love Okada, even though it's a heel Okada. The his catchphrases, as far as we had, like, yeah, bitch or whatever. Shout out to Gary. I know he loves Okada. Or like, I pushed the wrong button. But he's the stereotypical, like, Japanese guy who's like playing up to that. But the fans love Okada as a heel, but they'll love him even more as a babyface. I think it's time to pull the trigger on him to be pushed as a babyface. I'll pick Okada to win that semifinals, to go against the winner of the semifinals of Will Ospreay against Kyle Fletcher. Currently, Will Ospreay is a minus 1,000 favorite against Kyle Fletcher, being a plus 600 dog. Man, I actually did like the storyline in general as far as the turn that Kyle Fletcher did with Will Ospreay. I thought that was very well done. But here I think it's time to kind of push Will Ospreay now as the top guy in AEW. You have to put the belt on this dude sooner or later. By 2025, if he does not have the AEW World Heavyweight Champion by 2025, then we're doing something wrong. AEW will crumble, in my opinion. The fans will be asking for him to be as far as the champion. He is probably the guy that we should push, but I think Okada and him should be the guys as far as competing for the AEW Championship as opposed to what AEW is trying to do. But I'll get to that more in that in just a second. After that, once the winner is done between Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, the winner of that will go against Okada, who I picked. So I'm picking Okada against Will Ospreay for the Continental Classic for the Continental Championship. I'm gonna go. There's no betting odds because this hasn't happened yet. We still have to. These winners have to be determined. But I'm gonna go between Okada and Will Ospreay. My God, this should be a pay-per-view match, which technically it is. But this is something you should build up to. However, you can always build off of this and kind of push as a storyline later down the line. But my pick, the match between Okada and Will Ospreay, that itself is alone would be worth the pay for the pay-per-view. But I would go with Will Ospreay. I think Will Ospreay will win the Continental Classic. He'll be the new Continental Classic champion. He'll likely dethrone Okada for this belt, I believe. But that's as far as my pick for now. Likely, I assume D would probably favor Ospreay. But it wouldn't surprise me he actually picked Okada. I doubt he would go either Ricochet or Kyle Fletcher. But those are my picks for now. Moving on to the next match here is at Worlds End, the TBS Championship with Mercedes Moné being the TBS champion going against Chris Statlander, I'm sorry. Currently, Mercedes Moné, there was no betting odds, but she should be like a minus 1,000 favorite. There is no way she's losing this belt. Honestly, I do want to get into this one as far as story. Mercedes Moné is okay as her playing the heel. My only issue with this is what warranted Chris Statlander to be a contender for this match? Why is this match taking place? AEW has done an absolute horrendous job explaining as far as some of these backstories. Because one, I believe Chris Statlander, earlier in the year, prior to this match, she was feuding with Dee's girl. What's her name? Oh God, I can't remember the chunky girl. She was Willow, and she turned on Willow. She sided with Stokely, and they were feuding for months. And then all of a sudden, they just dropped it over the summer. And I was like, is there a reason why she turned? There was no specific reason. I believe Meltzer and Brian Alvarez talked about it, said they just dropped the line. They decided as far as just ignore it. And this is not the only time they've done this, but where they just completely this to me is insulting. The fact that people don't think they're going to question this, but they never explain why, as far as the heel turn took place. Obviously, that happened with Willow when she backstabbed her, but they never explain why she did a babyface turn. They just threw her in there and kind of like stable, pretty much established her as a babyface with no explanation. No explanation what happened to Stokely. No explanation why she did the turn. She just started feuding with Mercedes Moné for no fucking reason, and that is just baffling. Like that wasn't one of the most baffling things. I'll get to that in just a second, but that being said, no, Statlander is not winning this. Mercedes Moné, bet the house, bet the car, bet everything. Mercedes Moné for the win. I don't think this is the one that's going to dethrone her. I don't know who that will be, but it really doesn't matter. The storyline. Mercedes Moné is in her own little tier at the moment. It'll be a while before she actually loses the title, but who knows when that will be. But my pick here is Mercedes Moné. I assume D will likely pick Mercedes Moné if he's here, but that's what I got right now at the moment. Moving on to the next match, we have the Mariah Stratton Mariah May, the champion here, going against Thunder Rosa in a Tijuana street fight, which I'm not sure why. Honestly, I haven't been paying attention, but I don't know what warranted her as far as I guess Thunder Rosa won a couple matches on Dark or whatever the hell they're doing right now. Oh, probably on Rampage. Oh, I'm sorry, Rampage got canceled. But I don't. She's really right now. Thunder Rosa is a placeholder for now, currently for Toni Storm when she returns to Timeless Toni Storm. But at the moment, Bet Online does have Mariah May as a minus 550 favorite. Thunder Rosa being a plus 900 dog. I mean, there's no reason to pick Thunder Rosa here. This is not a good pick for an underdog pick. Mariah May is the clear pick here. She's likely to hold on to the title until they get to Australia when Toni Storm returns to Timeless Toni Storm. And I believe as far as Toni Storm will likely win that match and probably be Mariah May. Excuse the asshole driving outside with this shitty car. Pick here is Mariah May. Second match. Oh no, sorry. Next match of the night. Speaking of baffling booking, we have MJF going against Adam Cole for the stupid AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring. Now, before I get into the whole reasoning for the Diamond Ring even being the reason that they're competing for, or what they're as far as going for whoever wins the ring, obviously MJF is going to win. Currently, before I get into my spew, MJF is a minus 275 favorite, with Adam Cole being a plus 185 dog. Now, you just bear with me here. This match, I don't care. I don't give a shit about this feud anymore. Why? For the last year and a half, these two have been feuding or teaming together, and their booking has been absolutely stupid. So at first, when they got together, neither two trusted each other. Then later on, they worked to it to where they started establishing a bit of a cohesion or cohesiveness, where they were a tag team that worked. The fans got behind it. Later on, they started playing into the fact that they were both baby heels, I guess, or heels pretending to be baby faces, but they were actually likable heels that the fans got behind them to and didn't want to see them break up. However, going into Wembley from the year before, and then going into, I believe was it Worlds End? I can't remember. I think it was Worlds End last year. MJF was defending the ROH titles, which is stupid itself. And he had to defend the title against Samoa Joe, which MJF lost the title. At the end of the match, the Devil returned. Prior to the Devil showing up, being Adam Cole actually got injured on the ramp at the in New York, off that stupid ramp that Adam Cole, I believe, fractured his ankle or took him out of action for quite some time. Adam Cole returned as the Devil, and he backstabbed MJF. Completing the turn on MJF. So at the end of that feud, when the Devil was unmasked and it being Adam Cole, MJF was a babyface. Adam Cole turned heel. Fast forward, MJF returns after some sort. I can't remember if it was an injury or just a return. He comes back. Adam Cole's healing. MJF returns to like a big babyface reaction. He declares that he signed with AEW for years. He kicks Adam Cole in the balls, and Adam Cole goes away for months. Down the line, MJF starts becoming a heel. He just turns on Danny Garcia. I believe he pile drove him onto something, and he started bleeding profusely. Then Adam Cole returned. He's a babyface. MJF is a heel. And they don't even at all acknowledge anything that took place prior to this. The turn, the tag team, the kangaroo cook, none of that shit out the window. Literally, we invested a year and a half of storyline with these two. And now we come down to this, where a year later, after the betrayal, they are facing each other for the stupid ring. Why should we care? I mean, the booking with this has been absolutely atrocious. Like, it's been poorly booked. No one really cares about this. No one actually believes Adam Cole is going to beat MJF. There's no reason for us to care for this. The reason why we don't care is the reason why should we care when Tony Khan clearly is just ignoring the back pass and the backstory of this, where if they don't care, why should we? So at this point, I don't give a fuck who wins this match. I don't care. I don't want to see this match. MJF is going to win. Move on. Doesn't matter. Like, nothing makes sense for the storyline. Nor, I don't care about the faction. I don't care about Adam Cole. I don't care about MJF. Why should we care? They've been flip flopping on us, and Tony Khan just ignores as far as the booking and thinks we're stupid enough not to remember. Like he thinks that we develop amnesia and just don't remember what happened. But they're two solid wrestlers. But I don't care. I don't want to sound negative about it, but we wasted so much time watching this shit that why should we care? So I'll go with MJF here. I'm pretty sure D would have had a hell of a rant as well. I will speak on his behalf and assume that he likely agrees with me, but me and him were on the same page saying that like why why should we care? But that being said, I'll pick MJF. And I don't care. Moving on to the match I actually do care about. This one is for the AEW International Championship with Konosuke Takeshita, or as D likes to call him, Takeshita, versus Powerhouse Hobbs, my man Hobbs. Currently, as far as the betting odds, BetOnline currently has Takeshita at minus 3,000 favorite, Powerhouse Hobbs as a plus 800 dog. Um, I guess Takeshi has had a hell of a year, especially now. Finally, he got some gold. He should be competing against other guys in the top tier, or top tier wrestlers in AEW like Okada. Would love to see that match itself. Here I don't see why Hobbs would beat him. Hobbs doesn't really need the title. I think Takeshita needs to be like elevated. I know D has been very high on Takeshita. I've actually bought into Takeshita as well. He's had some great matches last year with Ospreay, and also as far as the year prior with Kenny Omega. But he needs to win his match. There's no if ands or but about it. Takeshita should win his match. He's probably my lock of the night. So no, indeed, he'll probably say, "Well, I guess Takeshi's gonna lose," but no, I'll pick him. But I'll go with Takeshita on that match. Looking forward to this one. And finally, in the main event, we have the AEW World Championship here with the champion Jon Moxley going against Hangman Page, Orange Cassidy, and Jay White. All right, where do I start with this piece of shit? So, babyface, who's the heel? I'm so thrown off by what they're doing here. Clearly, Jon Moxley is the dominant heel here. He's going with his faction, the Death Riders. Um, he's likely to retain. Currently, as far as the betting odds, Moxley is a minus 3,000 favorite. He should be a minus 10,000 favorite. There's no way he's losing this match. Orange Cassidy's next being a plus 700 dog. JY being a plus 1,000 dog. And Hangman being a plus 1,400 dog, which is surprising to me. Yeah, I don't know why they did this. I think they're trying to book one of the pillars to win or beat Jon Moxley to be the AEW champion. I think this is the wrong approach or the wrong direction that they're taking. I believe they should focus more on like Will Ospreay or maybe Okada possibly being the next AEW champion. I don't care about Orange Cassidy. I think this is his ceiling. He can't get any higher. There's nothing else to do. I believe this is his limit as his character. Like this is as far as you're gonna get with his actual his gimmick here. Jay White, we've yet to see as far as like Jay White as a heel or predominant as far as faction heel leader. I think he still can get better. He should be an AEW champion in the future. Hangman Page, give him credit. I think he'll help as far as develop the match or make it a better match than it should be. But I think he'll help Moxley as far as elevate this match possibly closer to a 4-star match, maybe 5. We'll see. But there's 3 really good wrestlers in here, and then you have Orange Cassidy. I'm not a fan of this guy. Never have been, never will be. Although I did like his match against Moxley. Was it back at All Out in about a year and a half ago? I thought that was a great match, but I thought that was his peak. I don't buy into him being champion. I think him being champion, referring to Orange Cassidy, is like the worst thing they could do since Jeff Hardy being the champion. And I never liked Jeff Hardy. I thought he was overrated. I think Orange Cassidy is overrated. He's not the guy. I'd rather it be Darby to be champion. I think that'd be more appropriate as far as of the 4 pillars, but that would be me. Aside from that, it's whatever. This main event, and there's no way Mox is losing. There's no reason for you to believe in that. They haven't given you a reason to believe that he's going to lose the title. Moxley none of these 3 guys are likely to beat him. This is not it. This is not the time. So he needs to hold on to that title for now. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. World's End will be live on as far as Saturday. I believe as far as on December 28th in Orlando. It's a solid card. I'm not gonna lie, they got some great wrestlers on here. I'm more interested in the Continental Classic as opposed to the main event. I'm more interested in AEW International Championship as opposed to the main event. And all these matches are gonna be better than Dynamite Diamond Ring as well. That's it. Those are my thoughts. And if you don't disagree, then leave your comments down below on why you think I'm wrong, even though you're wrong. But please leave your comments. Leave a like and subscribe. It does help us. Going on to as far as what's coming up next. That'll be as far as that goes. I'll try to do a recap if I can. I will make an attempt to try to as far as do recaps and predictions. If I have to do it myself, I will. Preferably, I prefer to do this with D, but I know D. It's kind of it's a rough schedule to do that because I know he works early and I work late, and it's kind of hard to do this without him. But I know as far as he did want as far as make content on his end with TNA. I don't know if he still is interested in doing that, but we'll try to put out more content for you guys. I do apologize for the lack of as far as content being put out, but I will make a conscious effort to try to do that. And here is proof of that. As far as what's next, D is coming down to San Antonio. I believe he's coming down on January 30th. He will be down here for about 5 days. So I'm looking forward to seeing my brother from another mother be down here in San Antonio. So I'll show him some Southern hospitality. We'll as far as likely try to capture footage of him being around here. I know I'm very much looking forward to hanging out with him. I know D for about pretty much 13, 14 years. So very excited to see him. We will do as far as a live Royal Rumble prediction show the day before the Royal Rumble. So we'll have as far as camera footage for him. We'll do as far as live as far as prediction show for the Royal Rumble. So I'm very much looking forward to that. After that, we'll try to do a recap once he goes back to New York, and we'll have some footage for him as far as when he was here in San Antonio. So we'll try to have that as far as done and edited. We'll have a special video for you guys to see kind of as far as the recap of the Rumble and also see the Adventures of D. Maybe I'll have a longer video of him as far as exploring San Antonio, but very, very much looking forward to him being down here, brother. I can't wait to see him, man. But aside from that, that's all I got. Again, I'll try to be back for the recap for Worlds End. If not, we'll come back with the prediction show for the Rumble. Other than that, thanks everyone for listening. For D,